Hey guys, what's up? Master Phoenix here, bringing you guys the worst and most degenerate deck profile to exist. This is my custom-made 60-card Yubel deck profile. So, um, I've been playtesting this deck for about half of a week to maybe a week, maximum. It was about a week max when I started, first building it and putting together the combos. And I'm sorry it takes me so long to put out deck profiles, but normally it's just because I like making custom lists that no one's really came up with or thought of or done before. Um, I like making custom decks without, net decking and all that because I don't believe in that. But anyway, um, basically the point of this deck is to get out Yubel, obviously, and then level her up as fast as you possibly can, and you want her to get destroyed by cards we'll get into later. First off, before we get into the deck profile, I'll go ahead and give you guys a sample hand. I would say is the best. One Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one Lone Fire Blossom. You don't want more than one of either of those. One Ash because you don't need more than one since you can only use it once per turn with all hand traps. The same as with all hand traps. One Lone Fire Blossom because you don't it's for the same reason. You can obviously use more than one on a turn, but you only want to use one. Because that way you if you have two in your hand, you summon out Lone Fire, and then you use its effect, tribute it off for another Lone Fire, and then you can't use another Lone Fire into another Lone Fire. So what you do is you summon Lone Fire, use Lone Fire, tribute it, special summon another Lone Fire, use the second Lone Fire's effect, tribute it, special summon your third Lone Fire, and then tribute your third Lone Fire, special summon your, Scimitar Lotus, or at least in the deck build I play. So for that reason, you're running one copy of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and one copy of Lone Fire Blossom for your ideal hands. Moving on, you'll have ideally either one Armageddon Knight or one Dark Grepher. They basically accomplish the same exact thing, so it's really up to personal preference. Personally, though, I'd say that I think that Armageddon Knight would be the better choice, just because it is a bit of a bigger body. I'm sorry, it's a smaller body, but it's just an on-summon effect, regardless of whether it's normal or special summoned. And you just get to instantly dump, so it's built-in Foolish Barrel, or, of course, Foolish Barrel to replace it, either one. So, there is 3 cards. For the remaining 2, you're going to want a Sinister Seed. The reason you want Sinister Seed is to get out all your tokens, ideally for when your Samsara Lotus goes away. The reason you want that to happen is you're going to take, admittedly, hopefully about 2,500, get out a full field of tokens, and you could link it up in the Firewall, but that's not really the point of this deck. It's mainly for tribute fodder, tribute 2 for you, Bell, and then you have, of course, your remaining 3, for tribute fodder for you, Bell's effect. Other than that, there's not much else point in Sinister Seeds, but you definitely want to run it at 3 though. But for that reason, I'd say you want to have at least one copy of that in your hand. But you don't want too many spells or traps, mainly because then Samsara can't get out its effect. For the final card in your hand, really, you're just going to want Limit Reverse to bring back Yubel from the graveyard once you dump it. The reasoning for this is that way you can switch it to defense mode, and then, of course, Limit Reverse will pop it, and then Yubel's effect will trigger, and you get out the Terror Incarnate. Anyway, moving on to the deck profile. One maxi. First off, I'm running, 9, 10 hand traps? Yeah, 10 hand traps. So, first off, one maxi, because it's limited. It's just really great draw power. 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, just because the negate is amazing, and it negates so many things. Trickster Reincarnation, just so many things. 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. It's pretty much the same thing as as Ash Blossom. I always say, in comparison to the 2, that Ash Blossom negates but doesn't destroy. Ghost Ogre destroys but doesn't negate. Ghost Ogre basically does both of those if it's a field spell or a continuous spell or trap card effect. because it will destroy it and then it's no longer on the field, so its continuous effect is no longer viable. I'm sorry, applicable to the situation. So for that reason, there's 3 of that. And for the anti-meta type of reasoning to it, we're running 3 copies of Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This because, again, this is pretty much anti-meta. Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom for the Pendulum Magician matchup. Invoked Mecha Ball for the Invoked matchup. And then I have 2 Mass Hero Dark Law and Mass Hero Acid. These are mainly because I hate the hero matchup. I love heroes, but I hate facing them. I know, hypocritical, but whatever. Formula Synchron and Stardust are in here for the same reason. Mainly because I've been fighting a lot of Synchrons for whatever reason, and this isn't ranked as well. But well, not really ranked, but when you go to the beta server and do what the equivalent of ranked would be, rather than just going to a US server or Europe server or whatever server you play on. No, honestly though, I'd say take out the Formula Synchron, add in a Cyflame Lord Omega, and take out the Stardust and replace it with a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. That'd probably be the most beneficial to you in terms of making it super duper anti-meta, but whatever. I would consider an Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem because I see a lot of people running that now. For its OTK and burn aspects to the deck. I might make a deck on that later. Beelzea the Diabolic Dragon. This is of course for the Pendulum Magician matchup and just in general because it's an annoying card. VRD because it's very popular now with Destrudo plays, with Spiral plays, just really anything to pop field spells that you don't want going away. There's that. Sylvan Princess Sprite, that was the fusion in synchros. We want to actually use Sylvan Princess Sprite because really this works for more outside of more than just spirals, but it's mainly in spirals because it's known in Quick Fix, and they make Princess Sprite. This is mainly so that they can't get their spells and traps to hand. So, I mean, it's mainly for that matchup. There are others where people would play it, but mainly for that matchup. Moving on, we have 1 copy of number 39 Utopia. This is just for the fact that there are still people who run the Lightning, but you can't make the Lightning without Utopia. Well, maybe you can, but most, like 90% of people with a brain cell, with a functioning brain, they would decide to use Utopia and then go into Utopia the Lightning. A, because Utopia can negate attacks, and B, because you use Utopia, number 39 Utopia, and rank up into the Lightning free without a rank up magic card. And then, by getting rid of Utopia, not only do you get rid of a decent generic rank 4 toolbox monster, you also get rid of, you indirectly get rid of the Lightning, because you just make it worthless to them. The Time Star Magician, because of the fact that Pendulum Magicians are still a thing, they've actually been doing some decent stuff in the meta lately, so I just like to make sure that they can't do that, because Time Pendulum Graph, and sometimes Star Pendulum Graph is annoying. Finally, for the Xyz monsters, we have 1 copy of number 41, Baguska the Terrible Tired Taper. This is mainly because I hate this card. I hate this card. It's so annoying not being able to have any of your effects go off. It is kind of funny though, because one time I ran into a situation where I was with Limit Reverse using Yubel, and then of course they had a Baguska, so Yubel instantly went to the fence. Its effect got negated. Limit Reverse activated, it destroyed Yubel, and of course since Yubel went to the grave, its effect was no longer negated, and since its ability activates in the grave, I got Terra Incarnate out for free. It was just a really very fun kind of interaction there. Moving on to Link Monsters, 1 Spiral Double Helix because just again the Spiral matchup. 1 Decode Talker because just the same as Firewall Dragon is why Firewall Dragon's in here. Pretty much anybody that's using Link Monsters are going to use either of these two, especially since this is 2+ monsters. It has to be 4 monsters, but it doesn't specify what monsters it can be. So that extensively turns scapegoat into a one card Firewall Dragon, which is just so 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 awesome. It gives me depression every time. Anyway, so that's the uses for Ghost Reaper and Rare Cherries, and why I use the cards I use in the extra deck. Moving on, where you have 3 copies of Samsara Lotus. This is just because it revives itself. One time I got a near infinite loop with this, always bring itself back, and then I just tribute it off, and it wouldn't be alive on the standby phase, so I wouldn't take the 1k damage, and I would just loop this over and over and over. At one point, I actually rage quit because of it, and I was like, no, screw you, dude, I was about to see my combo. But, yeah. 3 copies of Lone Fire Blossom for the reason I explained earlier. 3 Armageddon Knight and 3 Dark Grepher, again, for the reasons I explained earlier. And 3 of each of the Yubels, 3 Yubel, 3 Terra, Yubel Terra Incarnate, and 3 Yubel the Ultimate Nightmare. Basically the same reasoning. This is just an unsummoned Foolish Burial. This, you can discard one from hand to special it, but we're running Pot of Duality, so you don't really have to worry about that. Special summon, but you can if you want to. All right, you can if you want. And you can discard a Dark Attribute Launcher and then dump one with a built-in Foolish Barrel. Ideally, you'd be discarding your Samsara Lotus. That way, you can use its effect during the interface if you don't have any spell traps on the field. Normally, you would for your first, second turn, but you know, that's just kind of the combo with it. Yubel, of course, is standard. I'd say the worst matchup is DDD, because their Oracle King Diarch, DDD Oracle King Diarch just negates the entire purpose of Yubel. Terra Incarnate, so basically you tribute one, keep it on the field or it dies. Can't be destroyed by battle, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card. For damage calculation, if someone attacks it, they take damage equal to the attack points, and that's basically it. If destroyed by a card effect like Regeki or whatever, or Limit Reverse, whatever, you get out Yubel Terra Incarnate. Can only be special summoned out by Yubel. Can't be brought out other ways. Can't be destroyed by battle. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. Before battle damage, when this card is attacked by an opponent's monster, inflict damage to the opponent equal to that monster's attack. So far it's basically like Yubel, only they drop the annoying tribute to keep it alive field. And then during your end phase, destroy all monsters on the field, including yours, but that's no problem. When this card's normal, when this face-up card leaves the field, special summon one Yubel Ultimate Nightmare. So just when it leaves the field, Ultimate Nightmare. Yubel Ultimate Nightmare, of course, the main boss monster of the deck. Can't be normal summon set, must be summoned by Yubel Terra Incarnate effect, can't be special summoned by other ways. Again, can't be destroyed by battle, take no battle damage involving this card. And at the end of the battle step, this face-up attack position card battles and then punch monster, inflict damage to that monster attack equal to that monster's attack, also destroy it. The thing about this is it not only inflicts damage like the others did, like Yubel Terra Incarnate did, but it also will destroy it, and the best part is regardless of who does the battle. Meaning if you attack it or they attack you. It doesn't matter. So that's it for the monster lineup. Moving on to the spells, 1 Foolish Burial, because it's Foolish Burial, and 1 Soul Charge, because bringing back Yubel. 3 Terraforming, 3 Savage Colosseum, because you really, really want Savage Colosseum. I believe it was in one of my live streams where I actually used Savage Colosseum to make them OTK themselves. I used Savage Colosseum, my only real face-up monster is Yubel. And then they had to ram into it with everything, and they just lost a duel because Yubel's effect isn't once per turn, which it's amazing. It's like the best thing ever. 3 Pot of Duality because search power. 3 Lower Darkness because you run tons of dark monsters, and honestly, it doesn't matter if you banish one of these 9 brick cards, really. 3 Sinister, and that's it for the spell lineup. Moving up to traps, we have 3 Sinister Seeds for the reason I explained earlier, 3 Call of the Haunted, and 3 Limit Reverse, both to bring it back. Limit Reverse is the better of the two, but, you know, whatever. And then finally, 3 Storming Mirror Force and 3 Solemn Strike, just because they're staples. So, with that, it's going to complete the Yubel deck profile. I guess I'll go ahead and quickly show you guys a replay. Let me see. which one is this? Is this Goki's? No, this is this. Alright. I just let you guys see this. I'm just gonna let you guys see this real fast. So as you see, I used a triple lone fire to bring out this. I used Solemn Strike on that because screw that guy. This is pretty ideal. Alright, so you take 100 of that, you get 3 tokens. Boom, boom, boom. It's my turn now. This card screwed me up. Thunder King Ryo. Oh my god. I just bring it back out for no reason. I get destroyed. I get destroyed in this, mainly because I can't special summon, so I'm basically screwed. But there's that. I just wanted to show you guys the generic combo. I think this one time, I actually was this it or was this Goki's? No. Let me see. I think this guy just kind of quits. See, lone fire into lone fire, lone fire into lone fire, lone fire into Samsara Lotus. Allure, draw 2, banish, set 1. You're good to go. See, I told you, I've been playing Synchrons lately. I have proof of it, thank God. So, that's awesome. Get that incredible Formula Synchron. See, I told you that's why I play Formula Synchron. I tell you I've been playing this stupid deck lately. Tuner actually has an anime artwork for it, even as the regular spell, but anyway, whatever. He picked. Let me just pause that real quick. He played Reasoning, and I was like too lazy to select what level, so I was like, screw it, 1. And it just so happens to be level leader, and I'm like, oh my god. I was actually laughing, like not even LOL, but like I was legitimately laughing out loud. Like I think I almost broke my spleen with how hard I was laughing. Anyway, I'll let this continue. Did that. And it was my turn, and he just took tons of damage because War Arc fell. Worst pun ever, but whatever. So I summoned Armageddonite, and he just quits. He's like, screw this. Because he knew that was limit verse. I just told him in chat, because he's a good butt of mine. Like, he knew that was limit verse. He's played this deck before. He's played against this deck. He's played against me while I was using this deck before. Plenty of times. So he knew that was going to be limit verse. I even told him in the chat, as I said before, that I could bring back the Yubel after I dumped it. And he was just like, I ain't having that. So, whatever. That being said, that's going to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been your host, Carmaster Phoenix, signing out. See you guys next time. Have a good one.